Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my bookish content, which will be going up the first and last Wednesday of the month. So I will be doing a TBR the first Wednesday, which you guys will see on the 6th. And then, like today, I'm doing the end of the month wrap up. This will be for the books that I have read in both January and February, since I was not doing bookish content before now. I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about the books that I've read, the rating I gave, what genre they are, and what I'm currently reading. And how many pages they are and stuff like that. So starting, I just want to tell you guys, my goal this year is to read 17,000 pages. Last year, I read 40 books and 16,098 pages. So I put 20 books and 17,000 pages this year, which is like 1,000 pages a book just about. I'll probably end up reading more books and of shorter length, because the books that I tend to read are usually between like 200 and 400 pages. So, I could probably figure out the math, but I'm not going to do it right now. So let's go ahead and get into the books that I have been reading. So the first book that I finished this year, I'm pulling up my Kindle app, was Rogue by Elle Kennedy. If you guys know anything about Elle Kennedy, she wrote the Briar U, like The Deal. They're spicy college hockey romances. This book had a little bit of romance in it. It was a little bit more of a mystery. I did really enjoy it. I gave this one 3 stars. It was good, but if you're going into it thinking that you're going to get this college age romance, that's not what this is. These kids were definitely... Now, the male main character in this book, Finn, he is living in like a dorm for basically troubled boys, kind of, like a boarding school. And the female main character is basically the dean's daughter. And the first book was called Misfit. You followed around this female main character's sister and her romantic interest, which is the male main character's stepbrother. Or not stepbrother. Yeah, stepbrother. So in this one, they're all kind of like old, like senior in high school, freshman in college, like 18, 19 years old. I believe that the main female character in this book is 17, which they never really touch on like anything spicy in this book at all, pretty much. But it was a good book for what it was. I called it a romance. There wasn't like any spice or anything like that. Like I said, it was 3 stars. This one was 386 pages, and it was the first book that I finished this year. The second book that I finished was Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. Let me get the... this is the cover. I had heard a lot of things about this book. Good things. People seem to really enjoy it. I went ahead and read it. Now, this one is a extremely spicy, check trigger warnings, like dark romance. And it is 538 pages. I gave this one 4 stars. There were things to it that I was like, the cliffhanger it leaves you on is a little bit of a lot. So I can't wait to get into Hunting Adeline, which is the next book that you have to read in this series. It's a dark romance. Basically, it's about an author, a female author, who moves into I believe it's her grandmother's old mansion, and she finds like some letters in the wall, and they're talking about how her grandmother was in love with her grandmother was like had a stalker, and it just basically snowballs from there. So like I said, it's a very dark romance. There are extremely triggering situations and stuff. If you do not like that kind of thing, definitely check trigger warnings, because I don't want y'all going into this thing. Michelle said it was a good book and being like clutching your pearls. Like, no. The next one I read was Pumpkin Spice Scare by Molly Maple. This was 172 pages. It was a cozy mystery, 4.5 stars. I really did enjoy this one. I liked it a lot. That being said, I can't remember any of the mystery. I can remember like a few little snippets, but I'm not drawing a big... I enjoyed it when I read it. Obviously, I gave it 4.5 stars. But I can't tell you what the synopsis was. So, there's that. You know. The next book that I'm actually still currently reading, I started reading January 16th, and I read a chapter a night with Nick, is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is a 733-page book. It is a YA fantasy. It has very light romance in it. It's really a good... It's the last book in the Immortal Instruments series. Very, 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 very good book. Me and Nick have read every single one in this series. We read Clockwork or Infernal Devices before this. Highly, highly recommend if you are looking for a really good long series to read. Immortal Instruments is very good. You are basically following Clary, who is... Well, actually, you follow a lot of different characters, but Clary is like the main character in the story, and she, in the beginning, like the first book, like the first couple chapters, she is unaware of like shadow hunters and all that, and basically this book is her going from not knowing anything to where we are now, which I'm not going to get into it, but I highly suggest reading these books 100%. The next book that I read and finished was Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This was 342 pages. It is a romantasy, and it is a 5-star read for me. Loved it. Basically with Assistant to the Villain, I have... Oh, can you see it? Kind of. No, not really. It's white writing, I think is why. But basically with Assistant to the Villain, what I would call it is like think Disney movie, but the princess, well, she's not a princess, but like the female main character is in love with the villain, but it's very slow burn, girl. There's like no burn. Lots of banter, lots of fairy tale aspect to it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. If you want something really nice and cozy and sweet and cute and a little bit gross and a little bit of murderer and a little bit of yay, definitely read this book. Let me know what you think. If you have read it, in the comment section, it's a love it or hate it type of book. I personally loved it. The next book that I read and finished was Death and Wedding Cake by Nova Walsh. Death and Wedding Cake by Nova Walsh. It was 306 pages. It is a cozy mystery. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I think I just finished this one. It took me about 10 days to read it. You can't see it at all because it's a very light color. Let me see if I can turn my... So... that is what it looks like. It is a cozy mystery. And basically with this one, what you are following around our main character, whose name is Abby. And she's just moved home to help her aunt with a wedding at her aunt's B&B. Hometown. She's coming back home. And she's the caterer. So it's basically all about that. Somebody ends up dead and she ends up snooping around. There's a little bit of romance with the town sheriff, which is like a staple in the cozy mysteries. Very, very, very good read. Like I said, 4.5 stars. If you've never read a cozy mystery before, I would suggest this one as one of your first that you've ever read. Like I said, it's 306 pages, not too bad. That's about standard for a cozy. And like I said, I give it 4.5 stars, so very, very good read. The next one I read, which just shows you, like, I literally go back and forth with this stuff constantly, was The Risk, which is the first book in the My series. Highly recommend that book. It is only 132 pages. You can get through it. I got through it in like a day and a half. And that's not constantly reading. I was doing other things. But so good. 5 stars. Leaves you on a cliffhanger. I'm ready to go into the next one already. But I've been doing a new thing with my reading where I pick a book randomly. And I picked another book. My Google Doc picked another book. So let me show you what I'm currently reading, and then we'll be done with this reading vlog, or, wrap up. I'm currently reading Hollow Dolls by Marcy Kate Conley. Very, very, very good. It is a middle grade fantasy-esque book. Yeah, middle grade fantasy. I'm reading it physically and on my Kindle. I got it on my Kindle from the library. It's 262 pages. It's about a main character who basically, and you learn this in the first chapter, like first 3 chapters. She has been held captive in a castle by a woman who is basically using her powers, which is mind reading. She's a body shifter? No. Body stealer? No. Oh my gosh. They use a word for it. She can get into other people's bodies. The witch, we'll say, can get into other people's bodies. And she's gotten into this girl's body and a lot of other people's bodies. And use their talents to basically hurt them and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's what I know so far. I'm only 42 pages in to a 262 page book, so hopefully it's good. And then you guys will see what else I'm reading in my TBR video, which will be going up in a week from today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. All of my links to my socials that I feel like sharing are in the comment section or in the description, including my GoodReads. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.